Gaze into a mirror, and what do you see?
Since I have to send in this KW coilover for warranty repair, I'll go ahead and change the oil. So the oil that I've been using, this car has 184,000 miles on it. I've been using Caster Wedge 5W30 its entire life for the past 15 years. And then I've been using a K&N oil filter, and this is it, the HP 1008. And on my oil analysis video, somebody made a comment about Project Farm, which I'd never heard of before, and I went and watched some of his videos. And it shows Caster Wedge actually getting beat out. And I find that interesting because I sent this in for used oil analysis, and I'll pop it up on the screen for you. 300 different VQ owners actually sent in their oil samples, used oil samples, just like Project Farms did to Blackstone Labs. And it showed neck and neck was Caster Wedge and Pennzoil. And if you look at it, it shows barely Caster One. So it has, in his, he has Pennzoil coming down in the grand finals like it's March Madness, which is awesome, to Amsoil and Pennzoil. So it just goes to show you, really, these, if it's full synthetic, they're all really good, and what's more important is when you change it. So when I sent mine in, used oil analysis, I sent it in with 8,000 miles on it, and they told me I could keep going. So I go all the way from anywhere from 7 to 10,000 miles is what I do. So let's go ahead and get started here. You're going to want to, you don't remove the tire and all this nonsense. That's just me removing this coilover. You want to go ahead and jack the car up. So now how you do that is you're going to go ahead and take your jack, go ahead on the pinch seam and jack it up. And then the way I put my jack stands is just like this. See how it's sideways like this? And then it just goes flush right against the rocker panel here, instead of over like this, which, as you can see from people jacking before on this car, like shops, it bends this pinch seam right here. So once you go ahead and get your car jacked up on both sides, we'll go ahead and crawl underneath. And underneath of my my plastic undershield became trash, so let's see. So I have one of these aluminum undershields from, this one's from Toll Booth Willie. This is back before Z1 made undershields. Toll Booth Willie is TBW is his initials. And Toll Booth Willie, since I'm old, I know what it is. It's from Adam Sandler when he used to be funny. This is back before the internet and shit. We actually listened to just like skits without any video. And Toll Booth Willie was actually hilarious. So as you see here, this little shield here. So I understand where the name comes from. This little shield just comes down, and then that gives you access to the oil filter and then to the drain plug. And if you look here, my drain plug has a little white paint on it. That may or may not be from an oil analysis test. But the white mark shows exactly where it needs to be torqued down to. So I'll put the torque spec up on the screen, and then when I torque it back down, I just match up that white line on the bolt with the white line on the oil pan. So let's go ahead and drain the oil. So get a 14mm socket. Go ahead and place on this. Crack it loose. And go ahead and loosen your drain plug. You want to make sure that the engine's had time to cool down, because the oil can be hot. It gets anywhere from like 200, 220, 230 degrees. So go ahead and pull this plug. And there you go. And let's go ahead and let that puppy drain. Takes 5 quarts, including the oil filter. All right, the nice thing about K&N filters is there's a nut on top of this if you're unable to loosen it by hand. So you just go ahead and start loosening it. Have some trusty paper towels ready, because it'll start leaking out. I've got a little bit just drain out, and then I fully take it off. And then as soon as you loosen it all, make sure to push it down like towards this, because oil is going to come out of it, and then just drop it into the drain pan. What I do, see? Oop. So the new filter is see if you can see it here, is an HP 1008. All I do is I dab it down in here, and turn it like this in the old oil, and that puts some lube on the rubber seal. Wipe this son of a gun off here real quick. I got some on looks like it's got like dirt and sludge all over it. I'm gonna wipe that bitch off. Huh. Be honest with you, I don't think I've ever wiped it off, but now I got camera and light on it, and I see sludge and dirt on the outsides of it. It's not sludge, it's just the rubber seal where it's mated there over the years. That can't hurt it. A little wipe off, then go ahead and just stick her back on. I think I was wrong, it's a 27. Yep, 27 is what tightens it down. So that's why I got K&N. It's a better filter, and it ensures that you don't have oil filters that you can't get on and off. All you want to do is go really as tight as you can get it with your hands, and then just a half a turn snug. Alright, once you have the oil filter on, it's time to go ahead and put the drain plug back in. Just put it in finger, screw it in with your fingers. Make sure you don't, cross thread the oil pan, and you have to buy a whole brand new one because you stripped out the bolt. See all my little white paint? That's all that's finger tight, and not very much of a turn. And that puts it at the torque spec it needs to be at. Alright, go ahead and snug it to the white line. Right. And right there is torque to spec. Alright, go ahead and open up your 5 quarts of your motor oil, caster wedge, and it takes the whole thing. So go ahead and fill her up. There you go. Go ahead and take this out, and then put your oil cap back on. And gentlemen, there you have it, completed oil change. So I hope that helped you guys, and see you next video.